Hey guys, how's it going? This is British Fanboy here, coming back for the second part of the zombie commentary. This time it is Mission 2, and as I've already said, the challenge is to get to round 15 on solo on all of the rounds in order that they're written in the Black Ops menu, and I'm stuck on 5, basically. I am stuck on 5, and you know, 5 is a very annoying one to be stuck on, if I'm totally honest, because 5, it's very hard solo. It really is a hard round to do solo, and you know, I am trying and stuff. I spent out the last week trying to do it and stuff, but hey, you know, you can't win them all, can you? Especially in this case when doing 5 solo. It's so difficult. It's kind of like trying to smuggle the Queen a midget hooker, you know. It's like it's like that, you know. It's like, say if you know, Queen Elizabeth II came to me and said, "British fanboy, I want a midget hooker. I want you to get me the best one possible, and I want her to be wearing tight latex." And I'll say, "Okay, Elizabeth, I'll do that for you. You are friends with everybody in England, after all." And yeah, but it's quite hard to get, you know, a midget hooker wearing tight latex into Buckingham Palace, you know, with all the people there and shit. But hey. Who knows? Maybe I'll just be able to put one of her corgis in tight latex and just make it disguise. Say it's a very hairy midget hooker. I don't know, she might fall for it. It's possible, you know, it's worth a shot, I suppose. And if Queen Elizabeth is listening to this, or anyone from the monarchy, actually, if they're listening to this, this is not treason, okay? I assure you, this is not treason. This is just me thinking of an interesting opening joke. So, like I've said, I still haven't done 5 yet, guys. You know, I've got to get to round 15, and I haven't done it yet. I think this one I get to round 14, which is the highest I've ever done it on 5 on solo. And I told myself, and I told you guys, that I won't upload a video until I get to round 15. But, you know, it's been like a week or so, and I still haven't done it, you know. There's been a couple days where I haven't played games at all, and that's not like me, actually. Normally I play games every day, even if it's just, you know, for like 10-20 minutes or something. I normally do it every day, at least. But, no, this week I've been busy with some other things. Like, at one point I spent, I think it was Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. Or it was Thursday. Oh shit, Thursday. It was Thursday. Because we're doing science fiction projects in university right now, and we've been doing loads of visual effects throughout the entire day, and they weren't done yet. And since I love doing visual effects and I have all the same software and stuff, I just went home and just carried on doing it. You know, I did that, and I also rendered out something for a teaser trailer for another friend, and I did I send off some tracking data? Yeah, I sent off some tracking data to a mate over Facebook or whatever, which didn't even track in the end, you know, because he's a 3D modeler, you know, he's the one who's good at that kind of stuff. I can do it, but I ain't that great, you know, I'm just not great at it. I don't really enjoy it anyway, so, you know, fair dues. Alright, so, oh yeah, I'm going to tell you this now. Homefront is the most shocking piece of shit I've ever played in my life. Yesterday, if you watch my main British Fanboy videos, you will know my review already, but I rented Homefront yesterday. I completed it in 3 hours and 10 minutes. Shocking. And I'm sure some of you may be saying, what about doing some commentaries on the multiplayer and stuff? Guys, I refuse to play it again. I played 3 games and it was the most shite thing possible, you know. It's not like it's shite because of what it actually does. What it does quite well. But you see, the problem is, it's just Call of Duty. I'm not shitting you. And before people say, well, yeah, but you've got the in-game point system and stuff like that. Guys, it didn't add anything to it. It didn't. It didn't make it more exciting. You know, it didn't make the game more interesting. A lot of the times I couldn't even find a full room. All the maps felt exactly the same as each other. I played several maps, all of which felt exactly the same. It could have all been the same map, they felt so similar. They weren't all the same map, but they felt like it, you know? Homefront, terrible, shite and terrible. That's what they say about Homefront, and it's no wonder THQ stock dropped 10-25% or something over fucking night. Imagine if like 25% of your house just disappeared overnight. That would be, you know, that'd be like the entire roof. Imagine you woke up and the roof was gone. Phew. That'd be quite shocking, I suppose. But, you know, I doubt that's actually going to happen, but in THQ's case, it actually did. So, poor THQ. I doubt they'll be making games in a few years' time if they carry on the way they are, with Darksiders and Homefront and Did they do Kane and Lynch as well? Did they do Kane and Lynch Dog Days or distribute it or something? Oh shit. Oh dear, poor THQ. Anyways, they used to make brilliant games. You know, I remember playing the wrestling games on PS1 and stuff, you know, they were great. But hey, can't win anymore, can you? Right, let me give you some talk on 5. 5, I think the reason 5 is so difficult is because it's so many narrow corridors. You know, Kino is great because it's got lots of open area to run around and you can run circles around zombies and stuff. But since 5, it's so narrow. It's pretty much, the entire map is basically nothing but hallways. You know, even when you get into the room in the Pentagon, which has the big map and stuff like that, you know, it's still basically lots of hallways. It's a big room, but there's a big map in the middle, so that's just like a giant hallway. So it's really hard to just run around and survive, basically. You get cornered so easily, and pretty much every time I die in 5, it's because I get cornered. It sucks. But I don't mean 5 sucks. It's good, but it sucks that it's so hard, you know. If I was playing multiplayer with other people, which I wouldn't, for reasons I've already said, then it would probably be alright. But no, since it's so easy to get cornered, it's just so difficult to do. But it is good, like I said. Some things, oh man, the fucking dirty old man. He scared me so much first time, because I hadn't played 5 that much until I started doing this challenge. And the first time that old man came, you know, that evil scientist guy, you know, who's like Christopher Lloyd after a very bad hairdo, who was like, oh my god, you know, he made me jump so much, because I actually had my back to a teleporter, because I thought, okay, whatever's going to appear on like round 6, round 7 or whatever, it's not going to be good. So whether if it's monkeys or dogs or whatever, I better put my back to the teleporter just in case. But as you guys know, the doctor always comes out of the teleporter. So the game camera literally flipped my view around by itself, and there was this evil doctor in my face. I literally went, whoa! And what was even worse was that I actually didn't have the sound on at the time when he first turned up, because I was listening to music. I think I listened to Through the Fire and the Flames, actually. Yeah, I think it was that. And he was just right in my face. I was like, oh my god, that was so fucking terrifying, I'm gonna run away, oh shit. And then I pooed myself a little, and I had to go and change my pants, yes. But it wasn't that bad, I suppose, because I was wearing a G-string. Yeah. I went there. Alright, so this is a perfect example of how to get cornered on 5, you know. I'm in a very tight hallway, which is, you know, this walkway, and there are windows behind me, there's windows in front of me, and long streams of zombies, you know. I basically can't get out of this unless I shoot my way out, and if you've got no ammo, or you've got a shite gun, then yeah, you're screwed. If you could jump over the rails, you know, I'd be in this little area constantly if you could jump over the rails, but you can't, so. I've also worked out the stakeout is definitely the best gun to get when you first start, you know. It's just whenever you're playing all the maps, there's always a certain weapon to always get. Kino, you want to get the M14 first, and that's the same for a lot of maps actually. Get the M14 first, and then just go straight to the mystery box. You'll be able to survive on that. And in Ascension, you want to really, you could essentially just use the M14 for maybe 2-3 rounds, and then you'll get to the mystery box in time. It depends how trigger happy you are, so to speak. But actually, when I think about it, the M14 really is the best one to pick. You know, in the original Zombies and World at War, you could always pick the Kar 98. Shite that was shite, you know. Bolt action rifle, very accurate, but after round 1, it would take 2 bullets to kill a zombie. And I'm sorry, if there's that many zombies, which there are, you know, it very quickly increase in numbers, these zombies, then it just becomes way too chaotic, and it's bad, you know. That's just the way it happens, I suppose. Not that it really matters, seeing as I've got the original zombie maps on, you know, Black Ops, because ALF979, I believe, he gave me the maps. And here we go, Evil Doctor. Where's he gonna come? Come on. I got this long stretch of road right now, so come on. Doc! There he is. He's like, Marty, I'm gonna get your gun, Marty. You see, there he is, little dog Brown over there. And now I've got to chase this fucker down. I don't often actually catch this guy, you know. I've killed him a couple times, but most of the times he gets away, and that really fucking sucks when he gets away. But I always make sure I'm holding a really shite gun, or just the gun I don't want him to get, just in case, because, you know, you can survive quite well using the stakeout on 5 for a while, but You know, that submachine gun, as good as it is in the early rounds, after maybe round 7, it starts to get a little bit shite. So you can't really do anything about that. But in that case, I killed him. Woohoo! Take that, Doc Brown. Take that, Mr. Emmett. Fucker. You ruined Marty's life, basically. No, who am I kidding? He only made it better. Good old Doc. I love the Back to the Future movies, you know. I would like to go to him and go, hey dude, what's it like being named after a dwarf? And he'll be like, yeah, basically. And then I'll go to Michael J. Fox and he'll be like, Doc! And then, you know, I'll go think of something funnier to say in my commentary. Oh dear, oh dear. But, I was actually, oh, this is funny. Not long after I posted the last video, the last zombie video, not the epic fail one, the actual commentary, like, I wanted to save this video for Morning Madness, you know. Shut the fuck up, my phone's ringing. But, well, text. I wanted to save this for Morning Madness because, you know, Morning Madness, it's so much fun, you know. Me and my mates really enjoy doing Morning Madness, and I think they make good commentaries, you know, the Morning Madness commentaries. They're just really random, and I think they're really funny. We should totally do podcasts, you know. I might ask them about that. That would be so cool to do podcasts. Have to give it a go. But, I wanted to save it for that, but since I still hadn't got to round 15, we thought, okay, let's try it live. So, you know, got to like round maybe 11, then like an 8, and then, but you know, all this time we were doing live commentary, and we were so, there's a fucking grenade in the elevator, Granada! Ouch. But, it got so annoying, you know, just doing this live commentary and constantly failing at a high level. Because, you know, we would talk for like a good 20 minutes or so, and then have to start again, you know, do the introduction again and stuff. And it got very tiresome, but, hey, you know, it just proves that Morning Madness live on a zombie game, not a good idea. If you were just playing a regular online game of some kind, then it'd probably be quite good, you know, a Battlefield game or something, but not so in this case. Well, yeah, I should totally plan a podcast or something. That'd be quite cool. Me and my mates doing a podcast, talking about boning midget hookers until their bottoms bleed or something. Not that I do that, no. And that kind of stuff, you know. I'm sure that Gav is actually probably going to be watching this, because Gav actually claims he is my favourite fan, you know, and I can believe that, you know. He watches the videos pretty much the second they come out and stuff. Gets them sent to his phone. What a geek. But anyways, what was the other thing I was going to say? Shit. Oh yeah, just whenever I've been making videos recently, I've been saying my friend, but it's always been him. So he always yells at me saying, why don't you say my name? They know who I am. It's like, Gav, if I constantly say it's my mate Gav, then they'll assume I've only got one friend. I've got Brett as well. Oh dear, Brett, I love you. Anyways. He doesn't actually watch these, I don't think, but he just likes being in them. Well, it's not even that he likes being in them. He's just always with us when we do Morning Madness, so he's just become a part of it, you know. Brett always does the voice for Nelson Mandela. He should totally, what's it called? Do the podcast as Nelson Mandela. Oh, yeah, that'd be brilliant. Wayne. Whoever the fuck Wayne is. Alright, so anything else to talk about? Oh yeah. Work last night was quite interesting, actually. Last night it was Comic Relief, so, you know, charity event. And people at work, they wanted to do a pajama party. Now, I don't know about you, but I think the whole entire concept of a pajama party is silly, you know, I don't like it. Regular fancy dress, I quite enjoy, you know, it's quite fun. But just pajama party? No, you know, I don't really get it, you know, because I feel tired for a start, because I'm in my pajamas, and you're just walking around in your pajamas, you know. People walk in to the place where I work dressed in pajamas, the customers, and it just annoys me. I'm like, you look like a fool. Yet I had to wear pajamas because I was a member of staff. And we had things like you would get a free jelly shot if you came in your pajamas, because it was Comic Relief and it was, you know, fun. But I don't think we actually put the sign up until that morning, so no one came in their pajamas or anything, you know. That zombie didn't want to die. And so it's just for members of staff. And I actually didn't have pajamas, you know. I told them quite a while ago, can we just do regular fancy dress, because I don't have pajamas. I just don't own any. But I do have an upper class British gentleman's outfit, which, if you watch my regular videos, is the same thing that Even More British Fanboy wears. I do have that. That would be a good one, you know. I'll ask my cousin. But they said, yeah, we'll think about it. But it still came out to pajama party, you know, all votes pointed to pajama party. But they said, okay, we're still going to do pajama party, but seeing as you don't have any, we'll buy some for you. And, you know, I'm like, okay, fine, you know, if you guys will buy the pajamas, I'll wear them. But, there's a problem, you see. It's just, person who is in a relationship with the manager, we often make fun of each other. And, for a laugh, he got me some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pajamas. It's like, okay, but I didn't even like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I never liked it, you know, it just didn't really click with me, you know. Some people loved it, but for me, it just didn't really work. I loved Power Rangers, though. Power Rangers was fucking epic. But I mean, you know, like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, you know, fuck all that stuff, like Space Age Power Rangers or whatever. Nah, don't give me that. Poor Piggy hanging there as well. Miss Piggy, yeah, that's what I call her. But, whenever I come into this room, I always kill the pig. Purely because I feel sorry otherwise, you know. So, oh, this poor pig has been left here by the Russian scientists or whatever. And there's zombies everywhere. So I always just kill the pig, you know, put it out of its misery. Not because I enjoy the scent of blood. I assure you. Oh yeah, some interesting things. Crysis 2 coming out later on this week. That'll be interesting. But I have no idea if my computer will run it. That's the problem. Because, with Crysis 2, I've got the multiplayer demo off Steam on Crysis 2. Because I pretty much always buy my PC games off Steam. And, with a few exceptions. And I've got the multiplayer demo, but when I'm in the menus and stuff, it looks perfect, runs brilliantly and stuff. But when I actually go to play the game, it's really slow and jumpy and nasty. But the thing is, I don't know if that's lag because of the multiplayer game, or if it's, you know, the actual game. It's really annoying. And, what's my graphics card? It's a NVIDIA GT 240, I think. GT240. I do need a new graphics card, but I just don't really have the money right now. I want to get a new camera, so that will be the first thing to save up for, basically. Because, you know, graphics card, I just bought the cheapest one they had in the shop, you know, because, well, the cheapest one that would actually play games in the shop, actually. That has some integrated shit, which, no point. Cheapest one that could play games. And it can play every game on the market. But, you know, Crysis 2 is something special, you know, it's using the new CryEngine 3 and stuff like that, and I just generally don't know if my computer can run it. So guys, if you know if there is a single player benchmark somewhere on the internet, don't give me uTorrents or whatever, I don't torrent stuff, and, but if you know, is there a single player benchmark or a single player demo somewhere on the internet for Crysis 2? Because I don't really play multiplayer on PC. Because of, you know, internet issues and stuff like that, but I play them on my console. That's why I still, you know, play with the consoles. And also because, you know, I like to record my games, and best way to record it is on the console version because I've got the Hyparc. So if any of you guys know where I can get a single player demo of Crysis 2, guys, you know, thanks a lot. You know, I'd really appreciate that. Then I'll actually know if I can buy the game or not. Oh, what was the other thing I was going to mention? Shit, it was just in my head. Fuck. It's gone now, it's gone. Shit, I hate it when that happens. It will come back into my head the second I finish this commentary, I guarantee it. Now see, did you just see that? I slaughtered Dr. Emmett Brown there with the death machine. Perfect timing right there, you know. And of all the times for the Doctor to appear, it had to be when I had the death machine, didn't it? Right, let's hit the old whack-a-pack machine. Oh, you gotta love the whack-a-pack machine, ain't you guys? Don't know if you remember a few commentaries ago, I accidentally called it the whack-a-pack. For some very bizarre reason, I called it the whack-a-pack machine instead of the pack-a-punch. So, that's cool. Oh yeah, that was the thing I was going to mention. I remember now. I'm actually going to make it an effort now to reply to every comment on my videos. Because whilst I don't get many comments on my commentary channel, how ironic, but on my main channel I get a lot of comments. And I'm going to make it an effort to respond to all the comments I get in future. Just, you know, to, one, it kind of makes me seem like less like an asshole or whatever, you know, I'm talking to the fans and stuff like that. And also because it means I can get feedback a bit better, it means I can get just more comments in the videos, you know, like, so other people can see what people think and stuff like that, you know, so, completely cornered here. So, remember to leave a comment and stuff, guys, and you know, please hit like and, you know, subscribe and stuff, because, you know, I put a lot of effort into videos, you know, a lot of people who regularly upload videos, it's harder than a lot of people think, you know, so, you know, remember to hit like and to subscribe, you know, guys, because it's free, it's no harm, takes a second, and it really makes us feel good, so that'd be great, guys. And oh dear, I'm going to fart. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no, it's gone. Shit, never mind. Oh dear, oh dear. That was the other thing I was going to mention on my actual next British fanboy video as well. In the comment section, because I'm now talking to people a bit more, I got into a debate with a couple people about should multiplayer ever be the excuse for a bad single player. Because I actually, you know, like I've said, I rented Homefront, and the single player game was so shockingly shit and 3 hours long. But people said, oh no, no, the multiplayer makes up for it. It does, British fanboy. Why do I sound like Michael Jackson or something? I don't know. But, you know, Michael Jackson was commenting on my videos on the account of him probably not being interested in YouTube. Oh, and because the fact that he's dead. But, that's a little harsh, that. But I just don't really see how multiplayer should ever be an excuse. You know, if Call of Duty 4 had a 3-hour campaign, but the same multiplayer, I would still say it's shit. I really would, because a lot of people who watch commentaries and stuff, they're not necessarily like me and older people. They're younger. You know, commentaries are mainly for younger generations. You know, people who are like maybe anywhere from 11 to 15, 16 years old, something like that. That's how I view the demographic for commentaries. So if you went into gaming when I went into gaming and when older people went into gaming, multiplayer isn't as important. You know, I really don't feel as if multiplayer is necessary. They could remove every multiplayer game, you know, out of, get every game which has multiplayer, remove the multiplayer. If it meant improving the single player, I would be happy. I really, really would. If it meant we would get better single players, I would happily get rid of multiplayer. You may say, well, then you won't have anything to commentate on, British fanboy. Well, yeah, that's true, but I can still do Let's Plays and stuff, and it just doesn't matter to me as much. I'll always play single-player games more than multiplayer games. Pretty much every one of my PC games, and I've got like, oh shit, how many PC games have I got now? I've got more than console games, that's for damn sure, because they're so cheap on Steam. Hurrah! Just came in my pants when I saw the prices. But, well, not really. Came with tissue. But, they're always single player, you know, the PC games I'm getting. That's purely because I just enjoy single player much more. And check that out, you know, I just got a bomb, and they're still spawning. So, oh look, there's another bomb there. 2 bombs, you know, perfect timing, I suppose. Now, some people say that using the bombs is for puffs or whatever, but, you know, when you're trying to get to round 15 and you're on 5, which is pretty hard, then I don't mind using the bombs in this case. And, you know, I don't really care what you guys say about me being a wimp in the game. It's a game, you know. If I was doing a real video and I did something cowardly, then yeah, fine. But it's a game, so what difference does it make? But yeah, I've got both my weapons upgraded now. I've got the upgraded stakeout, which is the raid, which now means whenever I reload it, it reloads 2 shells instead of 1 for every time he pushes it in. It's got 10 bullets in it rather than 6, and it does more damage, and it's got the grip on it as well. So raid's a good improvement, but it could be better. And I've also got the upgraded HK21, which is pretty much the same, I think. I think it's got a higher magazine count. Yeah, it's got an extra 25 bullets, and it does more damage. It's faster as well, I think. But yeah, I always end up getting the HK, you know. Perfect gun for zombies. It really works well. Ah, they're everywhere. Spray them in the face. Spray them. Oh, I'm down. But, yeah. I tell you, you know, I just played a game just before I did this commentary, and I got nothing but shotguns, you know. I got the I had the stakeout, and then I got the Spaz 12 in the mystery box, and then I wanted to replace my stakeout, and I got a HS10, or HS12 I think it's called. So, that was very bizarre, and if I got around 15 on that, then I'll tell you, you know, that would have been awesome. It'd be like pretty much all shotguns, because shotguns in zombies are good, they really are, but only on single player, because, you know, lag and stuff. And the Spaz 12, I wanted to upgrade that gun so much. If I managed to get the Spaz 12 upgraded, so I get the Spaz 24, I think it is, or Spaz 14, something like that, they just changed the number on the end, then I would easily be able to get to round 15, because the Spaz upgraded, it's incredible, you know, it really, really is one of the best guns. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and say that it is one of the best guns. It's definitely in the top 5. Most powerful gun is probably the Thunder gun, and second, probably the ray gun. Then I'm gonna say upgraded Spaz 12 actually, and but you know, obviously you can upgrade the Thunder gun to get the Zeus cannon and stuff like that, and you upgrade the ray gun, What's the ray gun called when it's upgraded? Oh shit, you know, oh there, fuck, I'm down. Alright, there we go, that's the zombie commentary over. I got, oh I can't even see because the screen's too small. I got that amount of kills and that amount of headshots and stuff. But yeah, tell me in the comment section guys, should I carry on with 5 or should I move on to the next round, onto the next level? Because I've been doing it for a week and I haven't got to round 15 yet. Your choice guys, alright? Peace, British fanboy. Remember to comment on the video and to tell me if I can get Crysis 2 on a download or whatever. Bye bye. Subscribe.